Alright, Chapter 4, 6E, Commissioning and Education, Chapter 6E, 4, General Information. 6E4001, Fees and Expenses. 6E4003, Institutional Assessment Trust Fund. 6E4005, Student Protection Fund, Train Out Procedures for Closures. 6E4007, on-site visits. 6E4001, fees expensive. The base fee, workload fee shall be assumed 1/6 levels based upon the Florida student enrollment per license issued. Last report official end of the year, June 30th of each licensed institution. Florida student enrollment consists of all students enrolled at the Florida campus licensed institution for the distance education. Students whose mailing address for the purpose of receiving the distance education lesson material from the school of Florida address. If an institution holds a license not substituted enrollment data, the commission used in the commission independent education annual data collection, they should be assessed at the highest level of level 1, 0 to 100 students, level 2 is 101 to 500 students, level 3, 501 to 1,000 students, level 4, 1,000, 101,000 to 500 to 5,000 students, level 5, 5,001 students to 10,000 students, level 6, over 10,000 students. And the total revenue collected with the commission during the fiscal year of the 12% of the grade of the commission budget for the expenditure for the same fiscal year with the commission is authorized to reduce base fee workload fee up to 3%. If the total revenue collected with the commission during the fiscal year is left with the commission budget expenditure for the same fiscal year, the commission authorized to increase the base fee and workload fee up to 3%. Or your base fee. All non-public institutions center for the out-of-state institutions under jurisdiction commission derive the benefit of services performed with the commission. Such services include, but not limited to, the administrative, the Fair Consumer Practices Program, the Data Collection Disseminated Program, the defray of the cost of such general services. Each of an institution holding a provisional annual license, the license becomes accredited with its enrollment. Enrollment level 1 shall pay 500. Enrollment level 2 shall pay 1,000. Enrollment level 3 shall pay 2,000. Enrollment level 4 shall pay 3,000. Enrollment level 5 shall pay 4,000. Enrollment level 6 shall pay 5,000. Enrollment shall be determined by the institution data submission for the Commission Independent Education Data Collection during the provisional fiscal year of the new institution by its anticipated enrollment. Florida during the fiscal year of operation, the base fee shall be due for the collected time of the application provisional license, annual review licensure, or annual licensure means for the accreditation review. 3. Workload fees. Each licensed institution receives the technical assistance from the commission along with the help of the developing and implementing an institutional articulation agreements achieving the candidacy staff of the accreditation agency. Significant amount of the staff of the administrative time of the spent evaluating application, traveling institution on-site visit with assessing institution which is experienced for the problem of the financial aid with the financial stability. Other duties assigned by the commission. The following workload or fees are assessed in addition with the base fee that must be received prior to the commission consideration of each of the action. Initial application for the license move with the non-degree program. Non-degree institutions, $2,000 plus $200 per program. Non-degree granting institutions, $3,200 per program. Non-degree institutions, new degree institutions, granting institution annual review, licensure means accreditation review. Level 1, 1,500. Level 2, 2,000. Level 3, 5,000. Level 4, 7,000. Level 5, 8,500. Level 6, 10,000. Institutional license being accreditation shall pay $50 per license program and not exceed $500 as part of the annual review license of the substantive change 1,000. Substantive change review 1,000. Annual licensure extension first year 500. Or provisional license extension second year 750. Provisional extension license third year 1,500. New program modification license substantial change more than one minor modification per year with the new non-degree programs annual license institution 500. Degree program annual license institution 1,000. Non-degree programs institution license means accreditation for 250. Site visits. Site visits once per year include licensure fee and subsequent visits directed by the commission $300 per day. Approval of the use of the college or university first time special review 500. Additional annual licensure recruiting agency non-transferable $200. Criminal justice information investigation 500. Fines and disciplinary oversight and fine or probation requiring oversight up to 5,000 depending on the level of length of oversight required. Continuing activity over cease and desist letter per day 1,000. Monitoring the institution under probable cause per calendar quarter 1,005. Licensure applicable fees and base fees program fees shall be paid annually. Student Protection Fund, non-degree institution will charge for the fee with the Student Protection Fund. The fees are specified in Rule 6E4005 Florida Administration Codes. 7. Investigation, resolution complaints in case of the Commission to investigate the complaint for the prevention of the fair consumer practice, initiate the problem, cover the proceeding of rendering the finding with the fact of an issue of the decision institution shall be assessed. Fees no less than 500, no more than 2,000, according to the administrative time required for the specific case which is impayable within 14 days for the official act shouldn't be taken with the Commission. Failure to submit the materials in a timely manner in any case for the Commission to have set specific date for the filing of the materials regarding licensure or other materials used under the purview. Institution not filed with the said materials within 14 calendar days specified as of the date. The Commission shall set for the institution $100 per working day until the materials are received by the Commission. The postal date of the envelope package containing the materials shall serve the day of the receipt. All fees and any fines imposed for the probation or the other violation shall be paid by the Chief Financial Officer of the Department of Education for deposits institutional assessment trust fund established in Section 1010, 83 Florida State statutes, and identify with the separate revenue account authorized expense commission under provisions 10,010, 83 Florida State statutes. Rulemaking authority 1005-22-81E, 1005-35, 1005-37, 1005-38 flaws implemented, 1005-22, 1005-35, 1005-37, 1005-38 Florida State history news, January 7th, 9th, 2003, amended in July 27th, 2004, January 30th, 2008, September 20, July 21st, 2008, and January 11th, 2012. All right, 6E4003 Institutional Assessment Trust Fund. To implement institutional assessment trust fund established within section 1010-83 of the Florida State Statute, Commission shall be responsible for the authorizing expenditure funding with the consisting of the fees, fines, and the receipt of the manual money collected from the institution under jurisdiction. Such institution shall be informed of the operating budget, establishing categories for the expenditure consistent with the Department of Education accounting system. The operating budget shall be established by the resulting commission and enacted for the last largely regularly scheduled meeting with each of the official year. The Commission may be transferred the funds among the budget categories necessary to desirable the efficiency, effective administrative of the Chapter 1005 Florida State statute. The Commission shall establish the fee schedule to generate the funds to cover the operating budget each year of the fees. Other charges may be established, adjusted necessary to meet the operating expenses pursuant to Section 1005-32.5 Florida State statute. Rulemaking Authority 1005-22-1E, Florida State laws implemented 1005-22-1E, 1005-35, 1010, 83, Florida State history news, January 7th, 2003, 6E4005, Student Protection Fund, train out, procedures closure. Alright, subsection 1 through 4, subsection 1 through 4, paragraphs 6A and B with the rule that shall apply with license on public degree schools. Subsections 5 and paragraph 6C shall apply with licensed institutions established from thereby established for the fund with the known as the Student Protection Fund pursuant to Section 1005-37 Florida State statute. Payment of the Student Protection Fund shall be made within all licensed non-public degree schools. 3. Assessment paid to a licensed non-degree school. Each licensed school shall pay an annually to fund with a specified amount of 5 10,000 for the annual tuition revenue generated in Florida. Computation for the payment and assessment. The Commission shall require each of the schools to make a $500 payment to the Student Protection Fund before initial provisional license is issued. After the second year of operation, the $500 may be used to offset future payments to the Student Protection Fund. The accounting period shall institute the official year of the program, offer the corresponding distance education. Only income of the Florida students accounted for. They purpose of the computing the assessment. For the purpose of the rule, the student is the student who is mailing address for the purpose of the receiving the distance education lesson material for the school's Florida address. D. The fully timed payment of the assessment condition licensure failure to make such of the payment shall ground for the disciplinary action against the school for the change of the staff for the school for the license being for the accreditation to the provisional license for the denial of the application for the license renewal. Licensed non-degree institution shall report the annual tuition revenue generated with the Florida Commission Independent Education Form 604 but entitled Selective Financial have incorporated the reference of Rule 60 2004 Florida Administration Code. Commission Independent Education Form 604 may be obtained without the cost from the Commission website of the Florida Department of Education /CIE. We're writing the Commission Independent Education 3225 of the Florida West Gainey Street with the Suite 1414 Tallahassee, Florida 323990400. 5. Application and granting of train out awards. Any institution that enrolls a student who was enrolled in a licensed school but was unable to complete the program at any such school because the school ceased operation terminated in the program in which the student was enrolled may be qualified with the payment of the student protection fund for training out of the student with its program in which the student was previously enrolled. A licensed institute offered the training in effect the student may apply with a award letter of the commission for requesting the train out award identifying the school was ceased operation last known over the day that the school was open. The closing date known for the program was the student was enrolled the day of the student program was terminated. The student's social security number, the approximate date with which the student began the program, the train out institution must provide the commission with the accurate itemization actual cost that they incurred during the training. Institution must also provide the commission accounting and other funds for the student. The funds will be considered when the commission determines the amount of the award. The commission will be based on award available to fund for the accounting of the costs incurred with the amount of other funds is received. Train out award with the costing of the completing of the program shall not exceed the actual cost of the training of the student minus other payments made on the behalf of the student minus the amount of the remaining of the accounts receivable. The commission shall pay award to the train out institution within 45 days of the approval for the commission. 6. Additional provisions. Additional direct expense for the administrative of the funds shall be charged for the fund pursuant to Section 1537, 3 of the Florida State Statute. Owner school to terminate the program before all the students have completed it shall be assessed by the fee of the commission amount not to exceed the cost of the student protection fund. Implementing the train out failure to pay the commission shall be grounds disciplinary civil action against the school and its owners, then proper closing of the school without meeting the obligation required of the Chapter 1005. Florida State Statute. These rules shall result in actions provided in Section 1536 and 1538 and before Florida State Statute. Before closing, a licensed institution shall notify the commission writing at least 30 days prior to the closing of the institution. Section with 1005 to 36 Florida State Statute. To establish submitted to the commission written plan with the closure to include the following method of training of the students, including written agreements of their institution will provide with the part of all the training, method of which all the students' academic records of the commission designer, designator, the timeline showing the steps taken for the orderly closure of the institution, list of current mailing address, telephone numbers of all the active students currently enrolled in the institution, copy of the notice of the student for the institution provided with the students' training and the refunds. After the evidence of the refunds made by the students not receiving the train out, repaying out of the student loans, prorate of the refund of the students not having the loans. 3. Notifying the commission to provide the documentation to meet all of the student obligations at the conclusion of the training. 4. The commission to notify the institution closing has been closed. The commission shall have the representative of the commission review of the institution, assume the practical review of the current staff of the institution, provide a report of the commission. Move the train out plan with determine the compliance with the rules of safety, identifying and securing the train out of the institution. D. Other institutions ensure the student with the notified of the rights and responsibilities. You share information regarding with the closure appropriate to the state, federal, state agencies with any other appropriate oversight with the bodies. If the commission is notified of other institution has provided with the orderly closing, the commission shall organize the training out of the committee composed of the staff, commission members, of the other individual to oversee the orderly train out. Notify all the appropriate agencies seeking assistance for the institutional closure. Refer to the matter with the Department of Legal Affairs, State Attorney over the investigation prosecution. Rulemaking Authority 1537, the Florida State Law implemented 1535 4G 1536 3 1537, the Florida State History News, April 2nd, 2003, amended January 11th, 2012. Alright, 6E4007 on-site visits. Authorized to inspect employee for the commission for the design shall have the power to inspect the institutional law of the manner for the full partial site of the visit with the responsible for the honor of the following conditions. Sign of the institution complying with the rules and statutes as criteria for the annual license to determine if any of the provision of the chapter, any of the rule there under be violated for the purpose of securing these such other evidence for the may be needed for the persecution, such as Section 1538 of the Florida State Statute by an order of the commission upon receiving the application containing the information that may cause investigation to be made with on the institution. 2. On-site visit processes. Employee of the designated of the commission shall have authority to perform an unannounced site visit for the inspector of the site of such facilities with equipment that was well to conduct interviews with such individuals appropriate to determine whether the institution complies with Chapter 1005 of the Florida State Statute Commission rules. Failure to provide full access to institution files of the facility, equipment to prevention of the interview for the ground for the disciplinary action, detailed written report finding that will be complied with the staff made with part of the institution file. The institution shall pay with the required fee to cover the travel to per diem expense for the commission, the staff of the committee, with the members. Rules Authority 1521-1E, 1531-2, and 1533-1, 1538-1. Florida State Laws 1531-2, 1533, 1538. Florida State History News, December 23rd, 2003.